Hello and welcome back. I'm Aditi. In the previous section, we learned about the use of index and match function. And now in this section, we are going to learn about pivot tables and pivot charts. So let's begin with pivot tables. A pivot table is a data summarization tool that is used in the context of data processing. Pivot tables are used to summarize, sort, reorganize, group, count, total, or average data stored. It is quite simple to make a pivot table. Just click anywhere in the table and then go to Insert and click on Pivot Table. Then we have to select the table or the range, and we can see the entire table is already selected. And then we have two options. Either we want to make a pivot table in the new worksheet or in the existing worksheet. We choose the option of the existing worksheet here. Click on it and then click on OK. This created a pivot table in the existing worksheet. And we can see the pivot table is empty now and we got a box of pivot table field list. Fields are nothing but the column names. We can see we have all the column names listed here and it is partitioned into 4 parts: filters, column labels, row labels and values. Let's see how these partitions work. Let's select a field region and drag it to row labels, product name to column labels and price to values. Note that only numerical fields are allowed with values. So we can drag only either price or quantity to the values. Now we can see a pivot table which has summarized our data. We can see in the East region 3 products are bought, and similarly for other regions. We can even change the position of the fields. We can drag product name to row labels and region to column labels. We can even deselect a field from the pivot table by dragging it back to the field list, and we can add more than one field in any particular label, that is row label or column label. Now we can see that the values are aggregated by the sum of price. We can change this aggregation. Just click on the inverted triangle icon and go to the value field settings. And we can change the aggregation to count, average, max, minimum according to our requirement. So we can do a lot of things with pivot tables that totally depends on our data and our requirements. And here comes an end to this lecture where we learned about pivot tables, and now in this lecture we're going to learn about the pivot charts. So let's begin. A pivot chart is a visual representation of a pivot table in Excel. Creating pivot charts are as simple as creating pivot tables. Just click anywhere in the table and go to Insert and click on Pivot Chart option, and then select the entire table range which is already selected. And then if we want the pivot chart in a new worksheet or in the existing worksheet. If we want the pivot chart in the existing worksheet, we give the location and then click OK. This creates a new empty pivot chart. We have a box pivot chart list, same as in the case of pivot table, from where we can select the fields. We drag the name field into the axis label and the price to values. This creates a chart. Let's say we don't want all the names, so we can select only the particular names and click OK. This automatically changes the chart. We can add more fields to the chart based on the data we want to extract and visualize in the chart. So this is how we make the pivot chart in Excel. And here comes an end to this lecture. In the next section, we are going to learn about dashboards. Till then, keep enjoying.